everyone, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. And if you're new here, welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Claudia. I'm a 27-year-old living in California, just trying to figure out her 20s, trying to balance out working out, working a 9 to 5, and then also just enjoying my life right now. I'm currently training for a half marathon and I've managed to make it my entire personality, hence the whole YouTube channel dedicated to running. I also post weekly vlogs where I show how I'm trying to balance it all, so if any of that sounds interesting, go ahead, subscribe so you can follow along. If you're training for a half marathon or even thinking about signing up, there's a pretty good chance that you're making at least one of these mistakes. I would know, because I've made them. But after going through 8 training cycles and then also racing 4 half marathons, I've learned how to train smarter and not harder. So today I'm breaking down the 5 most common mistakes that people make while training to a half marathon, and obviously I'm also going to be sharing how to avoid them. Like I just mentioned, I'm currently training for a half marathon, but I've actually gone through a full 8 training cycles. Honestly, I love the process of training, sometimes even more than racing itself. I've even run a few half marathons just on my own or with a friend just because I enjoy working up to something and having a goal. Through all of these learning cycles, I've actually learned a lot. What works, what doesn't, and what can completely derail your race day. So if you want to avoid injuries, burnout, and race day disasters, then keep watching because these are the most common mistakes that runners do while training for a half marathon. And if you find this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. I post all things related to running, fitness, and just how to balance it all. Mistake number 1, running every run at the same pace. One of the biggest mistakes that new and even experienced runners do is they try to run every single run at the same pace. It might seem logical to you, right? If you run faster in your training, you're gonna run fast on your race day, right? Wrong. Running at the same pace every single run doesn't allow enough time for your body to recover, and it might actually lead you to run slower on race day. It's okay, we've all made that mistake. When I started training, I also thought that I had to go all out in every single run in order to get faster. But once I started to slow down on my easy runs and actually just catch my breath and enjoy what I was doing, that's when I actually started to see some improvement on my race time. Of course, during the training plan, you're gonna have different type of runs. There's tempo runs, speed work, long runs, and easy runs. Here we're going to be talking about the easy runs, which are supposed to be about 80% of your runs, in which I try to run the easy runs and also part of my long runs on a zone 2. This is making reference to your heart rate. So I usually use my watch in order to check what zone I'm running at the moment. If I start to feel winded, if I start to feel like I'm huffing and puffing, then I usually stop, look at my watch. I'm usually in zone 3 or zone 4, and then I just start walking up until my heart rate slows down a little bit and I'm back at zone 2. At that moment, I will continue jogging. Now, I would say that this usually happens when I'm listening to music. So I have actually found out that if I want to keep my easy runs at an easy pace and I want to keep my heart rate low, I need to listen to podcasts or audiobooks. Mistake number 2, neglecting strength training and mobility. This is another huge mistake that I see a lot of runners make, including myself. When I was training for my second half marathon, I just completely neglected the idea of going to the gym and lifting weights. It just didn't really seem appealing to my very naive mind. It just didn't make sense. The more I run, the better I will be at running. Well, again, I was wrong. But since I didn't do any strength training, I wasn't really as fast as I could have been if I had just included single leg workouts or even just any type of squatting. In addition to that, I had a lot of shin splints and knee pain, and don't even get me started on race day. That was miserable. And the reason for that is because skipping strength training as well as mobility actually increases the chances of getting injured. We're talking again, shin splints, knee pain, IT band issues, you name it. So here's what I do now. I never skip leg day. Now, within reason. If I'm incredibly sore from a workout, or if I'm feeling some pain in my knees or in my legs, then I'm of course not gonna be pushing it because I don't want to get injured. But otherwise, never skip leg day. I try to incorporate strength training at least 2 to 3 times a week, and I try to focus on glutes, single leg movements, as well as core. In addition to that, mobility also matters. Remember to always warm up with dynamic movements before your run and stretch out after your run. Otherwise, your muscles are gonna cramp up and you're gonna be tight, and that's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be very, very painful, and it's just gonna lead to some injuries. My go-to strength exercises are single leg deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats, and planks because they directly help build your core strength, which in consequence will improve your running form and endurance. Another good exercise to include in your routine is step ups. This can be weighted or non-weighted. Anything that hits one leg at a time, it's gonna be great for running. And let's not forget about calf raises. Those are so important. And I just want to make a pause here and say that I do accredit how fast, within reason. Of course, I'm not a professional runner. I'm just a normal 27-year-old who has a job. But sometimes when I go out and I do speed work, I'm impressed by how fast my paces can be. They can go all the way up until like 5 to 4:30 per mile, which is just insane. I mean, I don't hold it for very long. Of course, I'm going all out, but I do accredit how fast I can be to my calf races. I do them every single week, at least once. I just load up the squat bar with a lot of weight and then I just go at it. I usually do 25 reps up until my entire posterior chain is burning. Mistake number 3, not feeling properly. If you've ever felt completely drained or like you're running out of energy during your run, you might be making this mistake. At the beginning of my running career, I used to go out and I will run 6, 8, 10 miles. I will take no nutrition with me, no water, no nothing. And then I will come back home and I'll feel very tired. I will get really cold. I will not be able to get out of bed. My entire day would be wasted because I would have a horrible headache that wouldn't go away. And I would always wonder, what's wrong? Well, I wasn't feeling properly. And here's the reason why. Your body needs carbohydrates and sugars for endurance. Hitting the wall and feeling drained happens when your glycogen supplies run out. I know you'll always catch me snacking on something before going on my runs, having gels, gummies, any candy with me while going on long runs, and you will for sure find a protein shake or some kind of snack waiting for me in my car for the moment I'm done with my run. Fueling before a run, it's actually very important. My go-to is a piece of toast with peanut butter and banana. I've tried that on so many races. It's just basic enough that it has never upset my stomach and it just gets absorbed by your body really quickly. And I will say that fueling during your run, it's just as important. If you're gonna be going out and running more than an hour, I would highly recommend carrying some kind of nutrition with you. Have you ever tried nerve clusters while running? When I started running in college, of course, I didn't have a lot of money to drop on these fancy gels or these fancy gummies, so I will just go and get some fruit snacks. I will carry them in my little hydration vest with me, and I will have them like every 30 to 45 minutes, and honestly those work just fine. I would also recommend to make sure to have some kind of protein for after your run in order to help with your muscles that are recovering. And let's not forget hydration. You should always make sure to have water and electrolytes with you, especially when you're going on your long run. You're going to be losing some salt on your sweat, so you want to be able to replenish that. Otherwise you're going to get cramps, you're going to get horrible headaches, and you're gonna feel some fatigue. Mistake number 4, skipping rest days. It's easy to think that the more you run, the better you will be at running. But that's probably one of the biggest mistakes that a runner can do. Rest days should be taken very seriously, otherwise it might lead to some overuse injuries, burnout, and even slower progress. There was this one training cycle that I just didn't pay attention to rest days. I just assumed the more I run, the better I would be. And I was so wrong. I will be going out and running 5 times a week. And in addition to that, I will also try to take 4 to 5 high intensity classes throughout the week. I would go to Orange Theory, that includes running, Berries, that includes running. I would do F45. I did not allow my body to recover at all throughout the week. Of course, I ended up getting a lot of injuries because of overtraining, and that ended up hindering my progress toward my race time. But then also, I just wasn't able to enjoy my race day. So this is what I do now. I make sure to go on no more than 4 runs a week. In addition to that, I will do 1, maybe 2 high intensity cardio activities, but I will definitely be listening to my body. If I feel like I'm too sore, if I feel exhausted, if I feel like I can't do it, then I would just skip it. It's just not worth it for me. I actually had to put that into practice today. I was supposed to have a speed workout today, but when I woke up this morning, I just wasn't feeling great. I was feeling very exhausted. My legs were very sore, so I decided I would just take today as a recovery day. I went to a slow yoga class that will help me stretch out and feel better for tomorrow's workout. In my experience, active recovery can help a lot. Just moving your body in a way slower pace can be very helpful, especially when you're sore, since it can help move the lactic acid. I like doing yoga, going on walks, perhaps a short hike, but I just want to reiterate, always listen to your body. And lastly, mistake number 5, not having a race day strategy. Just imagine you show up to race day, you've done all of your training, you've done all of your runs, but you don't have a race day strategy. Things are probably gonna fall apart pretty quickly. If you don't have a pacing strategy, you might go out too hard. You might be feeling the excitement of race day, your legs are feeling fresh and good after a whole tapering period, and you go out too fast, you're probably gonna burn out. by like mile 6 or 7. And once again, I'm saying it from experience. Another big problem is gonna be to not have a nutrition and a hydration strategy for race day. You don't want to be feeling fatigued because you didn't have gels or candy or whatever with you. You don't want to be feeling groggy because you didn't drink electrolytes before your run or throughout your run. You don't want to be feeling gross and icky because you didn't follow a hydration strategy. You want to make sure you're getting electrolytes, you're getting some water before and during your race. So here's what you want to do. You always want to start at a very, slightly uncomfortable pace, almost comfortable. You want to make sure that you're at a pace that you can finish this race. And usually when you're halfway through the race, like 7-8 miles into it, you might want to check in with you and sincerely ask yourself, how am I feeling? Am I feeling great? Am I feeling like I can go faster? And that's when you start to make the decision of, okay, let me adjust my pace here. You're halfway down through the race. If you have made it that far, you can probably finish the race adjusting your pace slightly. I would say that finding a pacing strategy is actually very difficult because of course, once you get to mile 8, mile 9, you're not gonna start sprinting. So it's not like you're gonna be able to make up a lot of time there. But then also you don't wanna go out too hard and not be able to finish the race. So I would say that's really one of the trickiest parts of race day, figuring out your pacing strategy. Another thing that I want to highlight is to stick to your nutrition plan. And also please don't try anything new on race day. The same way that you're training for your runs, you should be training your stomach. Your candy, your gels, your gummies, whatever your nutrition plan is going to be, you should take it with you and you should try it. If it doesn't make you feel sick, if it doesn't make you feel icky, then take that same specific one, same brand, same flavor even, and take it on race day. And that's your strategy. Don't try anything new on the half marathon expo right before the race when you pick up your bib. Just don't. It can be a very, very bad idea. And lastly, you want to have a mindset plan too. I like looking at my race course and figuring out what's going to be the hardest part of the course. Where are the hills? Where's the elevation gain? And I will mentally prepare for how I want to tackle that. Do I want to walk them if they're too steep? Do I just want to take it at a slower pace? Do I want to go full send on a downhill? I will have that plan and that mindset already going into the race. That way there will be no surprises. Half marathon training is a journey and making adjustments here and there can lead to a way better experience on race day. I hope you guys found this video helpful and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more running content. And let me know in the comments what race are you training for right now or what race are you thinking of starting training for. And if you want to see what a full week of half marathon training looks like, don't forget to check out one of my blogs. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!